Already there. I'm recording the class now again. So let's watch again the help note about this word and. And is to link ideas or to link nouns. Let's see the presentation.
Help note. And. Use and to link nouns.
I have a smartphone and a desktop. I send a lot of text messages and emails. I text my friends and family.
Use and to link sentences with similar information or ideas. Similar means the same kind.
I want a new computer. I need some advice. I want a new computer and I need some advice.
Notice the change in punctuation. Erase the period and write a comma.
I want a new computer and I need some advice.
Here's another example.
On the weekends, my best friend calls. We talk for hours. On the weekends, my best friend calls, and we talk for hours.
Notice the change in punctuation. Erase the period and write a comma. Change the capital letter W to a small w.
On the weekends, my best friend calls, and we talk for hours.
In this case, lady and gentlemen, uh, we are using the word and to link or join nouns, to link ideas, join ideas or nouns. The example here is removing the capital letter because sometimes we need to change to join or link two different sentences. Like in the example, I'm going to write another example. For example, I like pizza, a very easy example. I like uh, potato chips, two things that we eat all the time. To link these two sentences or the nouns pizza and potato, it's not necessary to change I to lowercase or a small I. For example, I like pizza. We need to use a comma and potato chips. So here I am linking pizza and potato chips. Uh, I can use I and I like potato. You see, here the letter I is always capital. For example, when I'm going to use a different subject or a different noun or pronoun. For example, he loves movies. For a person who likes to go to the movies. Another sentence. He uh, loves uh, popcorn. We have two ideas. Two links. We need to link these ideas. In this case, movies and popcorn are going to be joined or linked for the word and. He loves movies, comma, and he. In this case, he is not with a capital letter because this is now not a second sentence. They are joined sentence, join ideas. They are linked. So I need to write lowercase letter. So he loves movies and he loves popcorn. In the case of I, is not necessary because I, the pronoun I, is always a capital letter. He, she, we, they, you, they can change when you are linking sentences. Okay, so I nouns or link nouns or join ideas. Yes, Fatima?
Siempre se va, después de and, se va a volver a repetir la oración o también se puede poner he loves movie and popcorn.
That is correct. Very good observation. And popcorn, these all together, they have the same idea or the same uh, message. So you can use the complete sentence or you can erase information that is not needed. Just like you said, Fatima, very good one. He loves movies and popcorn. That is enough. Very good. Uh, very good observation, Fatima. Okay. Any question, Francisco? No, is it clear?
No, profe, ninguna.
Okay. So this is the way we use and to join ideas, to link ideas. Let's go for the next activity. Well, it's just a review of the video.
Help note. And. Use
To
and
link.
to link nouns. I have a smartphone and a desktop. Use and to link sentences with similar information or ideas.
You see, Fatima, the information is similar or the idea is similar. I want a new computer and we can erase this and some advice. And okay, the word here, I want, is different than need, but they have the same idea. So you can erase I need and you can have I want a new computer and some advice. Okay, Fatima? Very good observation, Fatima.
I want a new computer and I need some advice.
The ideas are very, very similar. Let's go to the practice here. It's very easy. It says, read the email and select and. We have two ands here. They are joining ideas. There is another one. Where is the other one? I need a new computer. I need some.
Francisco tenía una pregunta, creo.
Francisco, okay. Thank you, Fatima. Francisco, what is your question?
Profe, es que ahorita que estamos viendo lo de la coma y después le sigue el and, yo tengo una duda porque, por ejemplo, no sé si se maneja igual que en el español, pero hay en ocasiones en donde el i va antes y después lleva como consiguiente la coma. Y quería preguntarle eso, que si, por ejemplo, hay veces en las que las ideas conectan el mismo texto, pero como que, no sé cómo explicarlo. O sea, es dentro de la misma idea, pero como que se desvía un poco, no sé si me entiende. Y a veces ahí es cuando era mi pregunta, si por ejemplo, si el and siempre va a ir después de la coma, o va a haber casos en los que vaya primero and y después coma.
Okay, very good question. Here we have two examples. Here we have two ideas. I want a new computer, comma, and I need some advice. These two sentences separate have different ideas, but they are joined, they are linked. Tienen ideas diferentes, pero se unen. So when you have a
I want
different
a new
idea,
computer and I need some advice.
but when you have a different idea, you use a comma, and always and is after the comma. Y siempre and va después de la coma. Let's see the second example. Here I have a smartphone and a desktop. Here we have the same verb. Tenemos el mismo verbo en acción. Yo tengo. I have a smartphone. I have a desktop. Have applies for desktop and smartphone. Así que tener aplica para el smartphone y la computadora, desktop. Aquí en este caso, fíjate que no hay ninguna coma. Because it's only one verb, porque hay un solo verbo. I want, I need, two verbs. Very similar, but they are in a way different. Son diferentes un poquito. ¿Sí ves, Francisco? Y cuando son diferentes, si hubiera sido I want a new computer y hubiéramos dicho I want some advice, hubiera sido I want a new computer and some advice. Y ya no ocupamos el I need. Acá I have a smartphone hubiera sido dos oraciones. I have a smartphone, I have a desktop, pero como tenemos el mismo verbo have, I have a smartphone and a desktop. Y eso es lo que podemos ver aquí, Francisco, de cómo se usa la coma y and. Si te fijas aquí con dos verbos, want y need, en el segunda idea, we use a comma and the word and. Here we have the same verb, we know commas, but we use and. Okay, Francisco?
Yes, teacher,
Okay,
thanks.
but always when you have two verbs, comma and the other verb. When you have only one verb, no commas, and the
Entonces, cuando
second
mi
idea.
verbo se ocupe como acción, solamente no va a llevar, y cuando se ocupen diferentes ideas es cuando se lleva la coma.
Come and exactly. In this case, we have this example.
Okay.
Yes. Let's see. We have two ends here. Very easy to just to mark them or select them. Let's go for number 3. In this case, we need to uh, generate or create a new sentence. Here, for example, I have a smartphone. I have a desktop. It says I have a smartphone and I have a desktop because we are using I have. Number 2, let's do this together. It says my computer is old. Period. New sentence. I want a new tablet. What is the answer for this? How do we solve this? We are going to erase the dot. We are going to place a comma and the word and that's it. My computer is old and I want a new tablet. Let's check answers to see if we are correct. Okay, Fatima. Okay, Francisco. Here we go. Yes, you see, we need the comma and I want a new tablet. For number 3, who helps me with number 3? ¿Quién me ayuda con la número 3? You see, we have two questions with do. Tenemos dos preguntas con do. Is the same verb. How do we link this using and? ¿Cómo los unimos usando and?
Solo poniendo en medio.
Ok, ¿quién? A ver, Fátima, ¿qué ibas a decir tú?
Eliminando do y el question mark, coma. No. También eliminando el you. Y need. Coma. And. Ajá.
Let's see, vamos a ver. Incorrect. Why? Because we are not going to use a comma because we have the same verb. Vamos a ver si soy correcto. ¿Sí? Do you need a tablet and a smartphone? Check answers. You see? Why we don't need a comma? Because we have the same verb. Tenemos el mismo verbo. Do you need... vamos a ver otra vez. Do you need a tablet? Do you need a smartphone? Do is used in the two sentences. O sea que aquí do se usaba en las dos oraciones. Por eso ya no ocupábamos la coma. ¿Se acuerdan? Aquí, por ejemplo, I have a new mini tablet. I like. Have y like are different. Son diferentes. How do we link this? ¿Cómo los unimos? I have a new mini tablet.
Eliminando period,
Mhm.
coma,
Yes.
and
And I like it a lot. No necesitamos más. Check answers. That is correct. ¿Te fijan? Let's check number 4. A ver, Fátima. Number 5, sorry. We have use and we have do. Two verbs, two different verbs. I use it for work.
Se elimina el,
El puntito.
el puntito.
Period.
Period.
Uh-huh.
Coma.
Comma.
And
And I do my homework on it for class. Son dos verbos diferentes. Coma. And I do my homework for class. And it's correct. Let's do number 6. Check the sentences. I take photos on my tablet. I take videos on my tablet. How do we link this? ¿Cómo los unimos? Do we need a comma? ¿Necesitamos una coma?
no.
No. And we don't need I. We don't need take because it's the same. I take photos on my tablet and videos on my tablet. Let's check if I am correct. Incorrect. Let me see why.
Ajá,
I take photos. Tablet
en
is two
videos.
times. So I take photos on my tablet. We erase all this. And also I take photos and videos on my tablet. You see? Because we have the same verb, we don't use a comma. There is another exercise. You are going to help me with this one. Okay? It says write complete sentences with and use the words to help you. For example, number 1, I really like laptops, tablets. Number 1, I really like laptops and tablets. Okay, Fatima, you are going to do number 2 and 3. Francisco, you are going to do well, let's do number 2 together. Number 3 and 4, Fatimas. Number 5 and 6 are Francisco's. Number 2, it says, my brother, you can help me all together. My brother downloads a lot of music and movies. Movies. Period. Very important. Downloads. My brother downloads a lot of music and movies. Fatima, number 3. What is the correct sentence for this?
I am a student, comma, and I need a laptop for class.
Number 4, Fatima.
My best friend
Mhm.
check his email in the morning and at night.
Very good. What about you, Francisco? Number 5.
My sister,
My sister
um, puede ser pay bills o shops, la
mhm.
que sea. Voy a poner pay
Shops is
bills.
an action and pays is an action. Okay. Try to follow the same order. My sister shops.
Okay. And pay bills
Mhm.
online.
Exactly. And pay bills online. And finally, number 6.
My cousin, a ver, déjame ver, porque está larga. My cousin is on his computer sometimes. Okay. My cousin does his homework on his computer, comma, and he sometimes plays games. Teacher, no se escucha.
Sorry, we have 3 mistakes here. Here I am a student and I need a laptop for class. What is the mistake? Ah, I know what the mistake is. The period. That's it. My sister shops and pay. That's my mistake. Pays was my mistake. My cousin does his homework on his computer and he sometimes plays games. I think it's correct, but it's not. Does his homework on his
O no
computer?
será my cousin does homework and plays sometime and he sometimes games on his computer.
Could be. Let's show the answer. Vamos a ver si mostrando la respuesta la corregimos. My cousin does his homework on his computer, comma, and he sometimes. Where is the mistake? ¿Dónde está el error? Ah, ya vi, mi querido y estimado. Es computer, no computer.
Profe.
Puse una U. Bueno, okay, was my mistake. Era mi error. Okay. Okay, we finished with and. Here, I don't know if you have any questions with and. ¿Alguna otra pregunta para and to join ideas or to join nouns?
Nothing.
No? No, Fatima, what about you? So when you use the same verb, it's not necessary. But when you use a different verb, you need to use the comma and. Okay? Questions, Fatima? No?
No, teacher.
Okay, let's go for the other word, but. But is a word that we use to add information that sometimes is different. Not the same ideas, not the same meaning, but different. In this case, we are going to see the help note, the presentation about but. In Spanish,
Help note.
pero.
But. Use but to link sentences with different information or ideas.
I have a smartphone and a desktop. I need something for class. I have a smartphone and a desktop, but I need something for class.
Notice the change in punctuation. Erase the period and write a comma.
This is because we are joining or linking two different sentences into one, okay?
I have a smartphone and a desktop, but I need something for class.
And also we have here and joining two nouns, a smartphone, desktop, but to join a different information.
Here's another example.
Koji has a computer at work. He doesn't have a computer at home.
Notice the change in punctuation. Erase the period and write a comma. Change the capital letter H to small h.
Koji has a computer at work, but he doesn't have a computer at home.
Sometimes the information is different or sometimes the information is the opposite of the first. A veces la información es diferente o contraria. Por ejemplo, aquí, Koji has a computer, but negative, he doesn't have a computer at home. But sometimes is adding information that is negative. Let's see the final part of the presentation.
Help note. But. Use but to link sentences with different information or ideas.
I have a smartphone and a desktop, but I need something for class.
But different information. Let's see some exercises. It says, is but correct in these sentences? Choose 4 correct sentences. We have 5 sentences, but only one is incorrect. Which one is the incorrect? Check the sentences, please, Fatima and Francisco. Check the sentences. Which sentence is the incorrect one? Because we are joining 2 sentences with the same idea to make
Number
one.
2.
In the second.
Okay, because I want a new tablet, but I need a new tablet. So here is correct. This is correct. Now let's see. Very good, Fatima. Very good, Francisco. Yes, this one has the same idea. So that is the incorrect sentence. Let's practice a little bit more. It says, use but to link the sentences. Remember to change the punctuation. For example, number 1. My sister never watches TV on her computer. We erase the period. What is missing here?
But listen to the music.
But, comma, but we changed capital letter for lowercase letter. My sister never watches TV on her computer, but she listens to music. Let's check if we are correct. Yes, this is correct. Now, number 2. Fatima, can you help me? Or Francisco, who wants to help me with number 2? Fatima, Francisco? Okay,
My
Fatima.
father never shop online.
Never shops online.
But
But
he pays
He, lowercase, okay.
lowercase,
He pays bills.
online every month.
Exactly. Francisco, help me with number 3, please. Our parents don't use social network sites.
Okay. Our parents don't use social network sites, comma,
Comma,
but
but
they email us a lot.
mhm, but goes well, they goes with a lowercase letter, but they email us a lot. And finally,
Cuando hace
number 4,
minúscula se dice lower.
lower, exactly. Let me show you. Uppercase means capital letter, is the same. Capital letter or uppercase letter means mayúsculas. Minúsculas, lowercase letters. Okay? Uppercase, mayúsculas, lowercase, minúsculas. Okay? Finally, number 4, my friends hardly ever send me email. They sometimes send me messages on my social network site. What is the correct answer to join or link these different ideas? Anybody? Fatima, Francisco?
Um, comma,
Comma, exactly.
but they sometimes
But,
lowercase,
exactly. Very good. And the rest of the center, let's check ideas. The information is correct. We have another practice here in number 4. So we need to use and or but. What is the correct one? We need to use either and or but. I have a tablet. I use it a lot. But or and.
and.
And yes.
Teacher, ¿cuál es la pronunciación? ¿En o and?
And
And.
and.
Okay.
I have a tablet and I use it a lot. It helps me to stay in touch with my friends, but family or and family.
And.
And family. In my free time, I read ebooks on my tablet,
But.
but very good. But I sometimes play games. I listen to music.
But I don't watch movies on my TV.
Very good. Next one, I have a lot of homework.
But.
But yes, why but? Because I use my laptop. Uh, oh, look at this. This is Anne. I read ebooks on my tablet. And okay, because it's the use of the tablet, not the idea of reading or playing. I It's my tablet. Okay, I read ebooks on my tablet, and sometimes I play games. All right, guys, we are finishing unit number 5. So we are moving on with with the next lesson. We finish with but. Let me see if we have something else. technology and you, because these activities are to do it in the platform. So let's see what do we have. You see, here you need to write a block. Whenever you have the access, you are going to do it. Maybe in the book, you will have something similar to do it. Let's go. Let's finish this unit. I don't know if you have any question, guys, because we are now moving on to unit number 6. Do you have any questions, Fatima, Francisco?
No.
No? Okay. We are going ahead. We are behind schedule. We are a little bit behind. What is neighborhood?
Vecino.
Exact. That's my neighbor. But neighborhood is the place you live. Es el lugar donde vives. Neighborhood means vecindario o colonia in Spanish. And in this unit, you are going to learn in lesson A how to say what's in a neighborhood using there is and there are. There is or there's are going to be used to describe places, the place where we live or our city. In lesson B, we are going to learn how to tell the time and make questions about time. What time is it? What time is maybe an activity? And we are also are going to learn how to make suggestions with this word. Let's. It's a very useful word and it helps you to give uh, ideas or in this case suggestions for activities. In lesson C, we are going to review about the word me too or me neither to say things that are in common or not. In lesson C also, we are going to learn how to say right or I know to show agreement. What is agree? Agree means that you are okay with something. In Spanish, that you are de acuerdo, agree. And finally, in lesson D, we are going to read something about New York. And well, we are going to use prepositions to write a city guide. I hope we do that because prepositions are very important. Prepositions are used to link ideas also and to show where things are. Okay? What can you see here in the picture, guys? What can you see? What kind of places are these?
Uh, uh,
This one here.
Big Jordan.
Hmm.
Um,
Where are they? What is behind them? ¿Qué está detrás de ellos?
Restaurant.
Okay. What can you see here in this area?
Uh, Neighbor.
A neighbor building. What is this place?
Um, Maybe park.
Like the Papagayo Park, exactly. Yes, yes. Let's go to the part that it says before you begin. It's also in your book. Here, we are going to see about some places that you can go. It says neighborhoods. Look at the pictures and listen to the sentences. Complete the sentences with the expressions in the box. We have 4 expressions. Number 1, go shopping. Repeat after me, go shopping.
Go shopping.
Go shopping.
Play sports.
Play sports.
Play sports.
Go for a walk.
Go for a walk.
Go for a walk.
See art.
See art.
See art.
Very good. What is the place where you can go shopping? Here we have different places: a mall, a stadium, A park, a museum.
A mall.
Where do you go shopping? Yeah, at a mall. Go shopping. Number two, what can you do in a stadium?
Play sport.
Exactly, play sports. What can you do in a park?
Go for a walk.
Go for a walk. And finally, what can you do in a museum?
See art.
See art. Very good. Okay, let's listen. I want you to listen and repeat the sentence, please. Okay, open your microphones, listen and repeat.
People go shopping at a mall.
People go shopping at a mall.
Very good.
People go shopping at a mall.
Number two.
Professionals play sports at a stadium.
Professional play sports at the stadium.
Professional play sport at the stadium.
Number three.
People go for a walk in a park.
People go for a walk in a park.
People go for a walk in the park.
In a park. Very good. And number four.
People see art and other interesting things at a museum.
1, 2, 3.
People see art and other interesting things at a museum.
People see art and other interesting things at the museum.
At the museum. Very good. So these are different places and things you can do. Maybe you have these four buildings around your neighborhood or not, uh, depending on the city, depending where you live. I don't know if there is a park near your house. No sé si hay un parque cerca de tu casa. Maybe a mall near your house. Or if there is a museum near your house. Well, we are going to be able to talk about things around our here. So in this lesson, we are going to learn the use of there is and there are to describe places. Different places, just like in the first activity. Different places like a museum, a different place like a park, a different place like an stadium or a mall. There are different places in our cities, different places, the place where we live, and we are going to learn how to describe those places using there is and there are. Now, here it says a vocabulary preview places in the neighborhood. Let's see, we have many places. Do you like to go to a Starbucks, guys? Do you ever go to Starbucks? ¿Alguna vez has ido a Starbucks? Fatima?
Yes.
Francisco? Yes. Do you like Starbucks?
Yes.
Or do you prefer Italian cafe? Or, I don't know, maybe Italianis? Or la Casa de los Abuelos, Vips? Those are cafes or restaurants. Yes, Fatima?
No. Yeah.
Okay, these are different places. Number one,
An outdoor cafe.
an outdoor cafe. What means an outdoor cafe?
Como un café de terraza.
Exactly, because it's outdoor. Outdoor means afuera, out of the door. Two words creating a new meaning. Dos palabras que crean un nuevo significado. An outdoor cafe is, like you said, maybe something outside of the building. What is number two?
A swimming pool.
A swimming pool.
A swimming pool.
What is number three, Fatima?
A movie theater.
Exactly, a movie theater.
A movie theater.
Number four, Francisco?
A park.
A park.
A park.
Okay, number 5, Fatima. What is number 5?
A post office.
Post office, yes. Number 6, Francisco.
The supermarket.
Yes, very easy. 7, Fatima.
A restaurant.
Restaurant. And finally, number.
No. A fast food place.
Yes, yes, very good. And finally, a restaurant. A fast food is more informal. In this case, number 8, a restaurant is a little bit formal. Please, everybody, listen and repeat from 5 to 8.
A post office.
Repeat.
A post office.
A post office.
A supermarket.
A supermarket.
A supermarket.
A fast food place.
A fast food place.
A fast food place.
A restaurant.
A restaurant.
A restaurant.
Okay. There is another word that I want to show you. A convenient store. Do you know what a convenient store is?
Tienda de conveniencia.
Exactly. There is one convenience store that is very, very popular in Acapulco. What's the name of that store? Is the competence. ¿Ah?
Oh, perdón, pensé que preguntó que cuál sería una.
Sí. Yes, yes. What is a very popular convenience store in Acapulco?
Oxxo.
Exactly. Everything is next to Oxxo. Oh, teacher, where can I buy cacahuates? Oh, next to the Oxxo. Where can I buy shoes? Oh, next to the Oxxo. Everything is next to the Oxxo. I remember when my son was in high school, the teacher sent him to a stationery. A stationery is a papelería. And she said, you can buy a book in that stationery, in that papelería. Where is the papelería? Where is the stationery? It says, it's next to the Oxxo. Y así les dijo, ¿ustedes creen? Está a un lado del Oxxo. Como si no hubiera Oxxos en Acapulco. De locos, ¿no? Crazy. Pero bueno, así. A convenience store is a tienda de conveniencia. And it's very popular in Acapulco. Not only Oxxo, but also Circle K used to be extra, and there are more convenience stores around the country. Let's continue. Let's go for the next activity. It says more preview about vocabulary.
A little coffee.
A little coffee, yes.
A little cafe.
Is this picture or this picture?
First picture.
Okay.
A big cafe.
A big cafe.
A small movie theater.
A small movie theater. Which one it is?
First.
The first one. This is?
A big movie theater.
A big movie theater. This is the correct one. An expensive restaurant. Which one is an expensive restaurant?
Second picture.
The second picture right here.
An expensive restaurant.
Exactly. Number 4, a convenience store.
Second.
The second. A beautiful pool.
The first.
Exactly.
A terrible pool.
A terrible pool. This one
Ah,
is
sí, parece la alberca de mi escuela.
Pool.
a small park. Sorry to hear that. A small park. Which is a small park?
Second picture.
The second. And a new apartment building.
Obviously, the second picture.
A new apartment building.
A boring neighborhood. What means boring? ¿Qué significa boring?
Aburrido.
Exactly. What is a boring neighborhood? The first or the
first? The first.
A boring neighborhood.
Yes. Great job. Yes, that was easy. A boring neighborhood. Ah,
An exciting neighborhood.
exciting means emocionante.
An old apartment
An
building.
old apartment building.
A small
A
park.
small park.
A terrible pool. A beautiful pool.
Terrible, beautiful.
A convenience store. A big
A
store.
big store.
An expensive restaurant. A cheap restaurant.
Expensive, cheap.
A big movie theater. A small movie theater.
Big and small. And finally,
A little cafe. A big
a
cafe.
big cafe.
Profe, ¿qué es cheap restaurant?
Cheap restaurant means the opposite of expensive. Lo contrario de expensive. ¿Qué sería?
Un pequeño restaurante.
Expensive means caro. You pay more. The opposite means lo contrario. ¿Sería?
Económico.
Exactly.
Pero o sea, ese es su significado al español cheap, cheap restaurant como económico.
Económico o barato.
Okay.
Okay. Nice places. Places to go. Here it says, how do people talk about their neighborhoods? Complete the chart with words from the box. It says the name of places. We have nouns that identify the place, the name of the building or the area. And here in this column, we are going to place adjectives that describe the place. For example, mall. When you go to a mall, maybe Galerías Acapulco or Galerías Diana, a mall is expensive. So, for example, this is the name of the place, a movie theater. What adjective can we use for movie theater? An adjective is a word that describes the place. Swimming pool is another name. Is there another name for places? Help me with the names of the places.
Park,
Park, okay.
restaurant,
Exactly, restaurant. Another one?
store,
Supermarket.
Store?
Supermarket.
Supermarket, yes. Is there another one?
café,
Cafe, yes. Café is not in an English word. No es una palabra en inglés. This word is in French. Está en francés. So here we have adjectives: convenient, nice, little, new. Do you know the meaning of all these words? ¿Saben qué significa cada palabrita? Convenient,
Conveniencia.
nice,
Lindo, bonito.
little,
Pequeño.
new,
Nuevo.
beautiful, small, big, and boring. So, what is a good adjective for cafe?
Nice.
A nice cafe, yes. What is a good adjective for supermarket?
big,
Big supermarket, yes. What is a good adjective for store?
Store. Yo creo que sería más supermarket en convenience y store y big en store.
Sí. No creo que nos tengamos que poner parejo, pero todo eso es park, small, new, beautiful,
Beautiful.
beautiful. Swimming pool. Creo que era beautiful también.
Sí, en mi albergue body.
Ajá. Small. All these are adjectives. Vamos a ver si nos los pone o nos quiere poner en orden. No lo creo porque sobran. Mira, vamos a ver. Sí, no tiene nada que ver. Así que nada más era ponerlos en su lugar. Let's go for activity number 2. Getting started. How do you like your neighborhood? You see the question? How do you like your neighborhood? Here, like is to talk about preferences. Do you like your neighborhood? How do you like your neighborhood? ¿Te gusta tu vecindario? It says, watch Amy, Paul, and Stacy talk about the Park View neighborhood. This is the name of the neighborhood. How do they describe Park View? So here we have Amy, Paul, and Stacy, and 3 columns to check about who says the word. If Amy says nice, we can check Amy for nice, Paul convenient, on Stacy boring. Let's see how they express themselves for their neighborhood. Yes, Francisco.
Teacher,
Ujú.
donde dice about the park view es literalmente la vista al parque, vista del parque.
Puede ser, pero en este caso, Park View lo estamos viendo como el nombre del vecindario, así como Casablanca, ¿no? Como por ejemplo en
Ah, ok,
Acapulco,
ok.
las brisas, no que veas el aire que va y viene, sino que es el nombre del lugar, ¿sí?
Ah, de acuerdo.
Park View, aquí es el nombre, Park View. Y sí,
Right,
si
right.
lo traduces correcto, sería vista al parque o la vista del
Okay.
parque. Muy bien, ¿no? Buena observación, Francisco. Very good
Eh,
observation.
¿Podría repetirlo? No, es que no entendí muy bien.
En Park View, lo que significa Park View,
Sí.
en este caso, Park View es el nombre del lugar. Like in Acapulco, for example, how do you say Vista Alegre? It's the name of the neighborhood, es el nombre de la colonia. Pero no que sea que tú vayas y que veas la vista y que te dé alegría, ¿verdad? Sino que es el nombre de la colonia. O Bellavista. ¿Qué otra colonia? La Cañada. Y se llama La
Oh,
Cañada.
ya entendí.
Se llama La Cañada porque antes era una cañada, pero ya tiene, ese es un nombre. ¿Qué otra? Costa Azul.
Las brisas porque da mucha brisa.
Puede ser. Sí, Park View ha de estar tal vez en un lugar alto y por eso se ve amplio ahí todo. Eh, pero in this case, Park View is the name of the place. Like Punta Diamante. Why is the name Punta Diamante or Caleta? Because they put the name. Le pusieron el nombre. And here we are going to see about these 3 people, Amy, Paul, and Stacy. They are talking about their neighborhood, Park View, and they are describing their neighborhood. Somebody may say it's nice or convenient or boring. Let's see the video about these 3 friends talking about the their, talking about the place where they live. Here goes.
So I'm here in a local neighborhood, Parkview, and this is Amy Johnson. Amy's a medical researcher. Amy, how do you like your neighborhood?
Well, Parkview is convenient.
And this is Paul Johnson. Paul also lives in Parkview. So, Paul, how do you like your neighborhood? Oh, and Paul is a stockbroker. So, Paul, how do you like Parkview?
It's nice.
And this is Stacy King. Stacy, you're a
student.
a high school student, right?
No, college.
Oh, okay. So, Stacy, how do you like your neighborhood?
Parkview is boring.
One more time. Very easy. But please take a look how they describe their neighborhood.
I'm here in a local neighborhood, Parkview, and this is Amy Johnson. Amy's a medical researcher. Amy, how do you like your neighborhood?
Well, Parkview is convenient.
And this is Paul Johnson. Paul also lives in Parkview. So, Paul, how do you like your neighborhood? Oh, and Paul is a stockbroker. So, Paul, how do you like Parkview?
It's nice.
And this is Stacy King. Stacy, you're a
student.
a high school student, right?
No, college.
Oh, okay. So, Stacy, how do you like your neighborhood?
Parkview is boring.
Boring. What
Teacher,
means
¿qué es lo que
boring?
alcanza a decir después de que le pregunta que si es estudiante? Bueno, que le dice la
Uh,
chica morada que es estudiante.
yes, she says, are you
So I.
a college no, high school student?
Oh, okay. So, state school student, right? School student. A high school student, right?
High school student means she's from preparatoria, high school. And she says, no.
No, college.
College means that she is studying university. Okay?
Oh, okay, okay.
So we have the levels kindergarten, elementary school, we have junior high, which is secundaria, high school, which is preparatoria, and college, which is the university. Those are the levels for school in English. Okay,
Okay,
so
okay.
some people say the neighborhood is nice. Some people say the neighborhood is convenient, and somebody says boring. How is your neighborhood, Fatima? Nice, convenient, beautiful?
Nice.
Is nice? What about you, Francisco? What can you say about your neighborhood?
Noisy.
Very good. Let's go for the next activity. Okay, it says getting started. How do you like your neighborhood? It's the same video. Just a minute, guys. Watch Amy talk about her neighborhood. It's only Amy. Choose the correct words to complete the sentences. Let's see about Amy.
So, I'm here in a local neighborhood, Parkview, and this is Amy Johnson. Amy's a medical researcher. Amy, how do you like your neighborhood?
Well, Parkview is convenient.
Okay. What is Amy's occupation? Medical researcher or student?
Medical researcher.
Okay. What about Parkview for her? Is it boring or convenient? Let's listen again.
So, I'm here in a local neighborhood, Parkview, and this is Amy Johnson. Amy's a medical researcher. Amy, how do you like your neighborhood?
Well, Parkview is convenient.
Yeah?
There's a big supermarket and some nice stores, but there's no mall. We need a mall.
Okay. So Amy is a medical researcher. Number two, Parkview is
Convenient.
convenient. Number three, there's a
Big supermarket.
big supermarket. You see here, this word is there is. The contraction there's. It, that means the same. There is or there's works the same. We use there is when we are talking about only one thing. There is. Only one mall, there is a mall. Only one supermarket, there is one supermarket. Or an OXXO, there is an OXXO. One thing only. There is. Number three. Number four, there are some.
Nice.
Nice. Okay,
How do
let's
you
see.
like your neighborhood?
Well, Parkview is convenient.
Yeah?
There's a big supermarket and some nice stores, but
There are some stores. Fatima, you say expensive or nice?
Nice.
Nice. There are is used when you are talking about two things or more. There are. There are has no contraction. You never say there, no, there are. So, number five, what is for number five? There's mall. Let's see about Amy.
Yeah?
There's a big supermarket and some nice stores, but there's no mall. We need a mall.
So number 5 is
No.
there is no mall. This is a negative. There is no mall. Imagine that near your house there are no Oxos. So you say, no, there are no Oxos near my house. No hay Oxos cerca de mi casa. So there is affirmative, there is no for negative. There are for affirmative, there are no for negative. Okay, let's check answers. Everything is correct. Nice places. Any questions up to here, guys? ¿Alguna pregunta hasta aquí? Medical researcher, investigador médico, boring, convenient, small, big, expensive, nice. Let's go for activity number 4. And it says now it's Paul talking about his neighborhood. Now we need to see what are his descriptions of his neighborhood.
And this is Paul Johnson. Paul also lives in Parkview. So, Paul, how do you like your neighborhood? Oh, and Paul is a stockbroker. So, Paul, how do you like Parkview?
It's nice.
You like it?
There are 2 nice outdoor cafes and a couple of movie theaters. There's a new swimming pool in the park. We have a beautiful little park. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, one more time.
And this is Paul Johnson. Paul also lives in Parkview. So, Paul, how do you like your neighborhood? Oh, and Paul is a stockbroker. So, Paul, how do you like Parkview?
It's nice.
You like it?
There are 2 nice outdoor cafes and a couple of movie theaters. There's a new swimming pool in the park. We have a beautiful little park. Yeah, it's good.
So what does Paul says about his neighborhood? What is his occupation, Fatima, Francisco?
A stockbroker.
Stockbroker. Do you know what a stockbroker?
Uh,
Uh-huh.
no, estoy explicando en lo que iba a preguntar.
Yes. Well, the question is a stockbroker. Stockbroker means a person who works in the financial area, like selling and buying, uh, how to say that, uh, stocks from big companies. Stockbroker means that he is un corredor de bolsa. ¿Eh? Y él trabaja en la bolsa de valores. Vende y compra acciones, stocks. Stockbroker, corredor de bolsa. ¿Ok? ¿Sí? Guys, ¿están vivos?
Yes, teacher.
Ok, gracias. So that is he is a stockbroker. For number 3, sorry, for number 2, there are 2 outdoor cafes.
Nice.
2 nice outdoor cafes. What about number 3? There are
A couple
a
of
couple. Very good. A couple means 2, 3, maybe 4 objects. Couple doesn't mean 2 in when you are talking about different things. So maybe 3 or 4, a couple. I don't know why is that, but a couple in when you say a par in Spanish, you mean 2 things. In English, a couple means 2, 3, or 4 things. Okay. Number 4, there's a big or new swimming pool.
news.
A new swimming pool. And finally,
Beautiful.
there's a beautiful, yes. Excellent job. Let me present you something here. So we are in unit number 6. Okay. And we are talking about there is and there are. There is used when we are talking about only one thing. There are when we talk about two or more. There are two oranges, three people, five glasses, six women, four girls. And we use this for describing rooms or pictures, also places. There is only one thing: a boy, a book, an apple, a car, a woman. Okay, let's stop here and let's continue with the presentation here in the platform. Let's go on activity number 5. Getting started. How do you like your name? Now watch Stacy talking about her neighborhood. What is her occupation? Do you remember about Stacy? College or high school student?
College.
College. Let's see about her.
And this is Stacy King. Stacy, you're a student. A high school student, right?
No, college.
Oh, okay. So, Stacy, how do you like your neighborhood?
Parkview is boring. There's no place to go. I mean, there's no mall, no fast food places, just a lot of expensive restaurants. Oh, and a small park.
One more time.
And this is Stacy King. Stacy, you're a
student.
A high school student, right?
No, college.
Oh, okay. So, Stacy, how do you like your neighborhood?
Parkview is boring. There's no place to go. I mean, there's no mall, no fast food places, just a lot of expensive restaurants. Oh, and a small park.
Okay, so Stacy's a college student. What about number 2? There's mall.
No.
There's no mall. Number 3?
Expensive.
Expensive what?
Restaurant.
Expensive restaurants. Yes. A lot of expensive restaurants, she says. And finally, number 4, there's
Small.
a small park. Yes. So here we finish with these 3 descriptions. Now, here it's an activity that you are going to record your voice, but you have to do this in the platform. We are not going to be able to do this here. Let's see about activity number 7. Oh, yes. It says, look at the pictures. Are these things in your neighborhood? Choose yes or no. Okay, guys, Fatima, Francisco, is there a supermarket near your house or in your neighborhood? Supermarket? Yes or no?
No.
No. What about you, Francisco?
Es que no sé qué tanta sea la distancia para decir si sí o no.
Okay, don't worry. Is there an outdoor cafe, Fatima, Francisco? A
No.
Starbucks, Italian coffee, a restaurant? No las picaditas, esa de Doña Chona, no. A restaurant, like Peeps, like dogs, no? A swimming pool?
No.
No. A fast food place? Ahí sí entra. Maybe
Yes.
McDonald's, maybe the picadas Doña Chona. A store, a convenience store. Maybe not an Oxxo, maybe the shop around the corner, la tienda de la esquina. Do you have stores near your house?
Yes.
Yes. Is there a mall near your house?
No.
No. What about you, Fatima? No. Is there a park?
No.
No. A movie theater?
Menos.
Okay. Sorry to hear that. Maybe, do you say your neighborhood is boring or nice, Francisco?
Boring and noisy.
Boring and nice? What about you, Fatima? What about your neighborhood? Is it boring or nice?
Same.
The same? Okay. Okay, let's play a little game here. Check the picture, what the picture is. Movie theaters, cafe, nice park.
There are a couple of movie theaters.
Okay, very good. Francisco.
No. Oh,
El tiempo.
there are lot, no sé, there are a lot expensive stores.
Okay, yes. Fatima, it's your turn.
There are small outdoor cafe.
Yes. Francisco, next.
Um, the apartment building other are not parks.
Apartment building, yes. Okay, sorry. What is that? Okay. This is an apartment building. And finally, number 5, Fatima.
There's nice park.
A nice park. Very good. The time is running out. 10 seconds, Francisco.
No, please. Supermarket.
There is a big supermarket.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Yes. Just in time. Okay, let's check the answers. Yes, this is correct. Expensive stores, a small outdoor cafe. An apartment building means un edificio de apartamentos, no parks.
This building,
Building, edificio. Building,
edificio.
edificio. An apartment
Okay.
is like when you go to El Coloso, there are a lot of apartment buildings, more than 3 levels of stories, más de 3
Sure.
niveles.
Y
Yes,
que por sí sola la palabra apartment no significa apartamento.
yes. One apartment is un departamento. An apartment building means the complete building. Se refiere a todo el edificio. In Spanish, we say un edificio de departamentos. And I live in apartment number 1 or number 2. Okay. Apartment building means uh, the complete object divided in many apartments. Park, a big supermarket. Very good, guys. How do I finish this? Okay. Okay. Ahora, ¿cómo me salgo de aquí? Ya no sé. Ah, está acá. Okay, let's go to the next activity. There is and there are. As I told you, there is used for one object. There are two or more. So here, take a look at the neighborhood. You need to use there's or there is and there are about a big supermarket. Can you see the picture here? There is or there are supermarkets.
There is.
There is. Okay. Number 2, two nice outdoor cafes.
There are.
Exactly. Mall. There is. What is the answer? There is no or there is some?
No.
There is no mall. Number 4, Parkview has a lot of expensive restaurants.
Restaurants.
Exactly. And finally, it has a couple of movie theater or theaters.
Theater.
Exactly. Here we have some new words. Let me show you about the words that we have seen a lot of and a couple. These words we are use them to talk about quantity of things. For example, a lot of. A lot of can we use for many or many nouns, and we are talking about a large quantity, a lot of a lot of fruit, mucha fruta, a lot of people, mucha gente, a lot of money, mucho dinero, a lot of. Please, can you repeat the sentences with me? She eats a lot of fruit.
She eats a lot of fruit.
There were a lot of people there.
There were a lot of people there.
He earns a lot of money.
He earns a lot of money.
Earns means ganar, pero se utiliza solo para decir ganar dinero. Earns.
Y la
O in.
diferencia de a lot of con much.
A lot of is used with all the nouns. A lot of se ocupa con todos los sustantivos. There are different nouns. Hay diferentes sustantivos. Some of them are countable nouns. Algunos se les dice contables. Countable because you can count them individually. And others you cannot count them. They are named uncountable. Y unos no se pueden contar individualmente. Tienes que ponerle alguna medida. Te voy a dar un ejemplo rápido. In Spanish and in English, we cannot count sugar. En español y en inglés no podemos contar el azúcar. We don't say one sugar, two sugars, or three sugars. No decimos eso. We need to add a measure. Necesitamos ponerle una medida. ¿Qué medida ponemos? A bag of sugar, una bolsa de azúcar. Por lo tanto, azúcar solito es incontable. No puedo decir una azúcar. Tengo que decir una bolsa de azúcar, una taza de azúcar, una cuchara de azúcar. ¿Qué estoy añadiendo? Una medida. In English, it's the same. We don't say one sugar, two sugars. No, we say a bag of sugar, a spoonful of sugar, a cup of sugar, a kilo of sugar. That's an uncountable noun. Ese es un sustantivo incontable o no contable. Countable nouns, you can count them individually. Los contables los podemos contar individualmente o se pueden hacer plurales. Por ejemplo, pen, one pen. Si tuviera dos, no creo que tenga por acá, pero si tuviera dos, diría two pens, dos, dos plumas. One cell phone, two cell phones, three, four, five, six cell phones. Y that's why we name them countable. Y por eso los nombramos contables. And there are many nouns, countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Y hay muchos sustantivos, unos contables y otros incontables. Y a lot of los puedes usar con cualquiera, ¿sí? Ya sea a lot of sugar, a lot of cell phones. Si te fijas, a lot of lo puedo usar con el contable de celulares, a lot of cell phones, one cell phone, two cell phones, three cell phones, o con sugar, a lot of sugar, mucha azúcar.
Entonces, ¿qué significa a lot of?
Mucho o mucha.
Mucha azúcar.
Mucha azúcar, muchos celulares.
Okay.
Sí. But the difference is that you can use this a lot of with all nouns, con todos los sustantivos. ¿Sí? Aquí, por ejemplo, some. It's another word that we have seen. Es otra palabrita que estamos viendo. Creo que sí la vimos aquí. There's a big, there's no more. Por aquí la habíamos visto. O si no, some. Sí, creo que la repitió. Some expensive restaurants. Algunos restaurantes caros. Some is used to mean a little or a few. Algunos. Some is used with countable or uncountable, igual que a lot of. También se puede usar con contables o incontables. Some sugar, some cell phones. Algunos celulares, algo de azúcar. Some means a few, un poco, o little, un poquito. ¿Sí? A few or little, una cantidad pequeña. Here, some examples. De aquí hay ejemplos. I asked her to lend me some money. Que me prestara algo de dinero. Some work to do. Some friends. Este es plural, si se fijan. Some friends. Some, igual que a lot of, se ocupa con contables e incontables. A ver, aquí vi esto. Sí, a couple. A couple in Spanish means una pareja o un par. A couple of shoes, a couple of apples, a couple. But in English means two or a more higher number of people or things. Can indicate something between 2 to 5 y puede ser de 2 a 5. ¿Sí? So, si por ejemplo dice a couple of people, son de 2 a 5 personas. A couple of people. A couple of minutes, un par de minutos, bueno, puede significar hasta 5 minutos. ¿Qué fue eso? ¿Qué fue eso? A couple. ¿Sí? Bueno, aquí ese es otro asunto. Let's see about the lesson. No sé, y aquí ya terminamos. There is, there are. Esta pequeña práctica. This little practice. Now, I just point out a lot of because it's here. Les mencionaba a lot of porque aquí está. Si se fijaron. A lot of expensive restaurants, plural. A couple of movie theaters. Y la otra palabrita es some, algunos. Some people, hay algo de gente. Some cars, algunos carros. Some. Okay. We are going to see this a little bit more. Vamos a ver esto un poquito más. Let's practice. There is and there are. And I don't know if you have any questions. No sé si Fátima, Francisco tengan alguna otra preguntita. No. Are you alive? ¿Están vivos, chicos? Díganme algo.
Yes, teacher.
¿Sí? ¿Tienes pregunta o sí está bien?
No, sí estoy viva.
Okay. Okay, now let's go for the grammar explanation about there is and there are. Very similar of my presentation. Muy parecido a la presentación que les acabo de dar.
Grammar. There's and there are. Use there's and a singular noun. A singular noun is one thing or person.
There's a park in my neighborhood.
One park. There is or there's.
Notice, there's is there is.
There's a park. There is a park.
Means the same. There is or there's.
Use there are and a plural noun. A plural noun is two or more things or people.
There are some restaurants.
There are some restaurants. There are.
Use there's and there are to say what is in a place.
There's a park in my neighborhood.
There are some restaurants.
Use there's no and a singular noun.
There's no mall in my neighborhood.
Use there are no and a plural noun.
There are no clubs.
Use there's no and there are no to say what is not in a place.
There's no mall in my neighborhood.
There are no clubs.
Okay, there is and there are for affirmative. There's no for negative, or there are no for negative. One is for singular, one is for plural. For example, Francisco and Fatima. Think about the place you live, your neighborhood, or maybe the street you live, o la calle donde viven. What is there in your street? ¿Qué hay en tu calle? What is there? ¿Qué hay ahí? In my street, there are many cars. There is no OXXO. There are no malls. There are many houses. There is and there are. What about your neighborhood, Francisco? Give me a description using there is or there are, there's no or there are no.
There are many cars.
Mhm. What
There's
about
no mall.
there's no? What about trees? Trees. Are
Some.
there? There are
There
some
are some
trees.
trees.
Okay. What about dogs?
Uh,
Wow, dogs.
um, um, there are very dogs. No, pretty.
Many.
Puede ser pretty dogs.
Pretty, bonitos.
Ajá, pretty dogs. O sea, para decir muchos.
There are many. Many dogs. What about supermarkets?
No, there's no supermarket.
There is not a supermarket. Okay. Fatima, what about your neighborhood, Fatima? What is there?
Convenience mall,
There's a convenience store. Okay.
convenience store in my neighborhood.
Neighborhood, yes.
Um,
What about restaurants?
no, there are there are not restaurants.
Exactly. There are no restaurants. What about OXXOs? Is there an OXXO in your house or in your neighborhood?
There are also.
There is.
No, I don't.
Oh, there are two.
Two.
OXXOs. Exactly. Very good. Remember to use plural or singular. Here, can you remember the rules? Okay, use there's or there are with a singular noun. There's or there are. Which one is the correct?
There's.
There's. For number two, with a plural noun. There's or there are, Francisco? Francisco?
¿Cómo, teacher?
We are remember the rules. The rules for using there is or there are. Here,
right.
Plural
There are.
nouns, there are, yes, for plurals. Number three, a plural noun for restaurant, for negative.
Profe, tengo una pequeña duda.
Sure.
Por ejemplo, cuando usamos el this is, no poníamos el apóstrofe porque era afirmativo. Y porque aquí en there's sí se puede usar el
this is.
Ajá, o sea, porque, aún así siendo aún siendo afirmativo. Porque aquí sí se puede y en this is no se puede, solamente porque es una regla que ya existía.
Ok, déjame entenderte bien. O sea, que aquí en this is, ¿tú pensarías que así se puede usar el apóstrofe? ¿This is así? Okay. Bueno, y cuando hacemos this is, no es posible. That is también es para singular.
Ahí sí se puede
Plural.
usar that's.
Exactamente. These are, este es plural. O those are, también es plural.
Those y these es para usar los plurales de si está cerca o lejos, ¿no?
This is or that es singular, cerca o lejos. Near or far, vamos a ponerlo aquí.
Ajá.
Near, far.
Y this is near.
Is near multiple objects, and this is far for multiple objects. Those are, for example,
Okay.
this is a cell phone, singular, plural. These are cell phones. Now, far from me, that is a cell phone, only one.
Literalmente lo cerca y lo lejos es que esté cerca de tu alcance, no con la mano. O sea, ya después si ya no lo alcanzas con la mano ya es literalmente lejos.
Exactly. Well, depending what is far from you, dependiendo que sea lejos. Estás en la mesa, that plate, ese plato. Y estás en la mesa, pero está hasta allá. No lo alcanzas. That plate. Pero si estás cerca te dices this plate, este plato. That glass,
Okay.
this glass. But this, my dear Francisco, we don't use apostrophe because this is different than there. Because in the case of there, quiere decir ahí. There. There is another word, es otra palabra. There is can be contracted. Sí se puede contraer. Podemos decir there y se dice theirs. ¿Sí? Pero there are no tiene contracción. ¿Sale?
Okay, thanks, teacher.
Rule number 3. A plural noun negative. There is no or there are no.
There's not.
A plural noun.
There are not.
There are no. Y here is singular. There's no supermarket. 0, 1, or 2.
0.
0. There are no supermarkets.
Profe, en ese there are no, ¿se puede utilizar there aren't?
Sí.
En ese se puede usar there aren't.
Sí. Negativo sí lleva there isn't también. Que no hay. There isn't. There isn't a mall. No hay un centro comercial. There aren't restaurants.
Okay.
Sí, pero aquí ya es una segunda situación. There no cambia. Is not o are not es diferente.
Okay, teacher.
Very good, Fandango. Okay, so these are the rules. When we are using there is or there are, there is no or there are no. Next, let's see about the explanation again.
Grammar.
The review.
There's and there are. Use there's and there are to say what is in a place.
Listen and repeat.
Okay, guys, please listen and repeat.
There's a park in my neighborhood.
There's a park in the neighborhood.
There's a park in my neighborhood.
One more time. Listen and then repeat.
There's a park in my neighborhood.
There's a park in the neighborhood.
There's a park in my neighborhood.
Okay, now for plural.
There are some restaurants.
There are some restaurants.
Here is the other word.
Some restaurant.
Thank you, Fatima. Thank you, Francisco. This is the other word that I told you. Esta es la otra palabra. Decía some. Some restaurants.
Some es algunos, ¿verdad?
Algunos. Used with countable and uncountable nouns. Well, with all nouns, con todos los sustantivos.
¿Cuál sería la traducción de esa oración, profe?
Hay algunos restaurantes.
Okay.
There is y there are, los dos significan hay. No de dolor, sino de que existen, de haber. ¿Sale? Hay. There's a park in my neighborhood. Hay un parque en mi vecindario. Que hubiera dos. There are two parks in my neighborhood. Hay dos parques en mi vecindario. There is, there are. Negativo, there's no, no hay. O there are no, no hay.
Remember, use there's no and there are no to say what is not in a place.
Something that doesn't exist. Algo que no
Listen
existe.
and repeat.
Listen and repeat. Are you ready? There is no, there are no. Que nos han robado el audio. Okay, listen, repeat after me. There's no mall in my neighborhood.
There's no mall in my neighborhood.
There's no mall in my neighborhood.
There are no clubs.
There are no clubs.
There are no clubs.
Thank you. And finally, finishing with this grammar part. I guess
In
it's just a review.
conversation, people often say theirs before plural nouns, but it's not correct to write this.
There's a lot of restaurants.
What is happening here? ¿Qué está pasando aquí? Ya quedamos que there is for singular. Ya quedamos que there is es para singular, pero aquí dice there's a lot of restaurants y restaurant está en plural. Here the lady says, people often say that. La gente es muy común que lo use así. In speaking English is correct, but in write English, in written English, en el inglés escrito, es incorrecto. ¿Por qué? Porque es permitido por la cultura nada más, ¿sale? No es algo que sea gramaticalmente correcto. Es simplemente que es común que la gente así lo diga, ¿sale? Por eso mucha gente, there's a lot of restaurants. There's some apples. There's some students. The normal thing is there are some students, there are some apples, there are some restaurants, there are a lot of restaurants. But people often say there's because it's something like that is common, only because it's common. Let's see the other example for writing English. That is incorrect, I guess. This is incorrect.
There's a lot of restaurants.
That is incorrect. When you are writing, it's incorrect. But in speaking, it's very common to say there's, okay? I don't know if you have a question on this. Fatima, Francisco, any questions? Remember, there is for singular. There are for plural, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Fatima?
Yes, teacher.
Now, please help me. What is the correct one? Here, number one is done. There's a big supermarket. Number two, what is the correct expression? There is, or there's, or there are?
There are.
Number three, Francisco?
There are two malls.
There are two malls. Fatima? There's. Number five, Francisco?
There are cheap fast food places.
Exactly. And finally, number six, Fatima?
There's a small park.
Exactly. Very good job. Very good job, guys. Now we need to complete the sentences using there is or there are. Number two. What is the correct? There is, or there's, or there are?
There's no park in my neighborhood.
Exactly. There's no park. Number 2.
There's a club.
There's a club. Number 4.
There are no movie theaters.
There are no movie theaters. Very good. Number 5, Francisco.
There's
There's. Very good. And finally, number 6, Fatima.
There are.
There are no big supermarkets. Very good. Great job, guys. Great job. There is and there are. Now we are going to talk about quantifiers. A lot of, some, and the other, a couple, are quantifiers. Uh, After we do this exercise, we are going to see the quantifiers. But here, only to finish this, uh, let's just place the labels in the correct box. No stadium, there is or there are?
There is.
There's no stadium. A fast food restaurant.
There is.
A couple of stores.
There are.
A museum.
There's.
Exactly. A couple of swimming pools.
There are.
Very good. So we are looking at now the quantifiers. Very easy. I hope you like it because these words are going to help you to describe amounts of things. For example, a lot of, with all nouns to describe a large quantity. Some, a little quantity or a few of something. Few means pocos. And finally, a couple, which means 2 to 5 things. Those are quantifiers. Now let's go to the book. Let's watch the grammar. We are going to finish the class in 5 minutes. So maybe we just watch the presentation and see if you have any questions, okay? Before we go, let's watch this.
Grammar. Quantifiers. Use there's and a or an or no.
There's a park.
There's an outdoor cafe. There's no mall.
Remember, use there's and a or an or no for one thing.
There's a park.
There's an outdoor cafe.
These are quantifiers. A lot of. Some. A couple of. No. Quantifiers give information about numbers. Use there are and a lot of.
There are a lot of restaurants.
Use there are and some.
There are some outdoor cafes.
There are and a couple of.
There are a couple of movie theaters.
Notice, a couple of sometimes means two.
A couple of movie theaters.
A couple of sometimes means two or three. Use there are and no.
There are no clubs.
So let's practice a little bit here. Remember, no means no, nothing exists. A couple, 2, 3, or 5. Some, not much. not a few. No, it's not exist. A lot of, you have many things. So there are 10 or more restaurants. There are a couple, no, some, a lot of. What is the correct one? Yes, Francisco?
Teacher, sorry por molestar. Es que ya me tengo que desconectar porque me voy a trabajar.
Okay, we are going to do this next week. Okay, don't worry, Francisco. Fatima, are you here, Fatima?
Sí, teacher.
Ok, vamos a repasar esto entonces mejor la semana que viene desde aquí de los Quantify. Ya se fue Francisco para no avanzar mucho y no le afecte tanto. ¿Sale?
Okay, teacher.
Órale pues, Fátima. So it was nice having you here. So we are going to see you next week.